Greta, I have to stop that plane from leaving.
What are you going to do?
I don't know yet. You get the car. It's hidden in the trees near the entrance. The keys are on the dash.
Okay.
Keep the engine running. We need to leave as soon as I get the girl.
Jack,
Yes?
be careful.
There's no time to be careful. Not this time. Greta, go. Dannazione. It's too late.
It looks like you're too late, Del Nero.
What are you doing here? Why aren't you on that plane?
I hate traveling. I'm not the kind of guy who crosses the desert on a camel. I prefer the comfort of the big city. Moreover, had I left, I would have missed the chance to deal with you. You made me look ridiculous in the eyes of the organization, and I don't have any intention of letting you get away with it.
And what do you want to do? Kill me? I can see it on your face that you've never shot anyone. You're not that kind of guy. You send your men to do your dirty work.
You're right. I've never shot anyone, even though many men and women died because I ordered it.
How brave.
But you know, there's a first time for everything. It was destiny, Del Nero.
It had to be a little past 4 in the afternoon. I had just lit one of the many cigarettes that fill my days with no clients, when a middle-aged guy comes into my office with 2 caterpillars for eyebrows and a cigar hanging from his mouth. He introduces himself as Harvey Weber, the owner of Weber Company, a meat house in Larchmont. After 10 minutes of pointless chatter about his job, he gives me a photograph. Susan Weber, 20 years old, Harvey's stepdaughter. He tells me all about her carefree lifestyle, her dreams of becoming an actress, and how she hasn't come home in weeks. But how he keeps getting bills for clothes, shoes, and other things that might catch the eye of a 20-year-old girl with a well-heeled old man. Harvey, because of his divorce agreement with his ex-wife, is responsible for supporting the girl until she turns 21. So the kid decides to take advantage of her old man while she can and spend as much as possible until she turns 21. But Harvey Weber isn't one to sit on his hands, and he got his attorneys on the case. They think that if Susan were caught having an affair that her old man wouldn't know of, it could bring the evidence to court and get her cut off. Just one photograph would do it, according to Harvey. I take the job. I'll get him that photograph. The whole thing will cost him $30 a day, plus expenses, paid in advance. Harvey gives me a check for $30 and leaves my office. I cash the check, toss down something that can be called a dinner, and I'm already in Harlem. A few dollars got me a tip that Harvey Weber's kid might be around here. At the Last Heaven Hotel, to be precise. According to the information that I have, a few days ago, some blondie went on a shopping spree here in Harlem. In this neighborhood, if you have money to spend on clothes and jewelry, it's easy to get noticed. I even managed to find out that the girl was seen entering the Last Heaven Hotel. I'd better ask a few questions.
You shouldn't take those candies. They've been there for years.
I'll take my chances. I've put worse in my stomach. I'll keep it with me. There's no way I'm eating it, since I'd like to avoid getting dysentery.
Hey, you. Where do you think you're going? That's the way to the rooms, but I don't think you're one of my guests.
I'm looking for a woman.
Well, who is it nowadays?
Hi, do you own this place?
Well, it depends on who wants to know.
I'm a private detective.
A private detective. I guess someone has gotten himself in trouble.
More or less. It's about a girl.
A girl, you say? There are a lot of them here, and for a few bucks, they can give you a night that will stay in your memories for a long, long time.
She's not a prostitute. Susan Weber, white, medium frame, blonde hair, 20 years, and pretty enough to cause her some troubles. Have you seen her?
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not used to giving out information about my guests to the first person who happens by. People come here to have a place where no one can find them, and not just for a place where to sleep. And I try to help them with that as much as I can.
Forget about it.
Whatever you want.
This job probably doesn't pay too much. I'm sure that with a little encouragement, he would tell me more. $10 should be more than enough for some information. These might make you change your mind.
Money to buy information? That must be one important girl you're looking for.
Enough for someone to hire me.
You know, lately, a lot of people like you have come by. They ask questions, look for people. Once, this hotel was considered one of the best in Harlem. Now it's become a shelter for criminals, easy women, and people who are running away from something. All it took was a couple of years of recession to turn New York into a cesspool. I wonder where this city's going to end up.
Where it always has. Nowhere.
You're always headed somewhere. Good or bad, you always have a direction. The day that New York will be rotten through and through, that will be the day that the good God himself will come down to crush it.
Don't count on that. I know people in this city who would manage to bribe your good God with a couple of well-aimed compliments.
Son, I guess you're not a believer.
I believe in whiskey and in all those things that I can explain in a day.
Well, without faith, it's impossible to survive in this city. Everyone needs something to believe in.
Probably I just don't have anything worth believing in yet. Anyway, let's end this catechism lesson and tell me where I can find the girl.
You said her name is Susan Weber?
Susan Weber, with 2 B's.
Susan Weber. Oh, you gave me money in exchange for information, but who says that I have any?
Dannazione, you must have a list with the names of your guests.
As I told you earlier, this hotel is a place where half the tenants are poor devils trying to get away from something. They usually don't give their real names. 100 John Smiths, a dozen George Washingtons, even a couple of Charlie Chaplins pass through this hotel.
So there is no room under the name Susan Weber?
That's right, son. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. If you want, you can take your money back.
Keep it. I'm sure it'll come in handy.
Son, what else can I do for you?
I have a question for you.
Tell me.
Nothing important.
Oh, whatever you want.
I don't have anything else to ask you.
Well, if you need me, I'm here.
The Second Life of Miss Gray. a film by Howard Paul, starring Vivian Leight. Vivian Leight, that's the same name that Harvey Weber gave me. From what he told me, his daughter greatly admires that actress. Sitting down and reading the newspaper. I should have been a reception clerk. I would have certainly been healthier.
Son, what else can I do for you?
I have a question for you.
Tell me.
It doesn't make any sense. Nothing important.
Oh, whatever you want.
I have a question for you.
Tell me.
Nothing important.
Oh, whatever you want.
Do you have any idea where I can find Susan Weber?
Well, I told you, no one leaves their real names here. And Harlem is full of blondies like the one you described.
I have a question for you.
Tell me.
It doesn't make any sense. Is there a woman called Leight among your guests?
Late. Yes, and she matches your description. White, young, and blonde. Is she the woman you're looking for?
Yes. What room is she in?
Room 313, third floor, end of the hallway.
Thanks. I don't have anything else to ask you.
Well, if you need me, I'm here.
I finally gotten away from my clod of a stepfather. I couldn't take it anymore. He thought I should spend my entire life behind the counter of a butcher shop. I'm an actress. I was born to act in movies. Big productions. Isn't that right, Teddy Bear?
Of course, baby. I'll make you the biggest star in Hollywood.
Yes, Howard. With you, I'll be the next Vivian Leight. Actually, you'll make me even more famous than her. You'll give me her parts and I'll exceed her. I'll be the #1. Right, Teddy Bear? Right?
And here's our Susan. I'll take a few pictures of her with her teddy bear, and tomorrow morning I'll give them to Harvey Weber. This way I'll get the rest of my money. It's today's newspaper. Even though companies keep shutting down, the newspapers are saying the worst is behind us. I wonder who it helps if people believe it. The usual news that comes out before the New York mayoral elections. Each candidate smears the others, trying to steal as many votes as possible. At the end, it will be the least immoral one who will win, or the one who'll do the best job in hiding his skeletons in the closet. It looks like the rain from these last few days knocked out the telephone lines. In some areas of the city, the service will be cut off to avoid a short circuit. There's a little panel here. There's a little panel here. I've heard enough. Harvey Weber paid me to get him some proof of his stepdaughter's love affair. All I have to do now is to get a picture of Susan while she's in the arms of her teddy bear, Howard. The apartment should have a window.
It's hot as hell in this room. One day it's cold, the next one it's hot. Tomorrow, I'm gonna give an earful to the owner of this crappy room. You don't treat a future movie star this way.
Good. That must be our Susan's room. Now I have to find a way to open that gate. I can't go there. The gate is locked. I knew that it was a good idea to bring them with me. Done. Dannazione. The lock just reset. I have to start over. There are some metal bars on the ground. Yes, I'll take one. This bar could be helpful. dumpster, the kind that has wheels on the bottom so that you can move it. There's a break here. The street is probably downhill a little, so if I unlocked it, the dumpster would roll all the way down to the road. I can't think of anything. Let's try. A dumpster, the kind that has wheels on the bottom so that you can move it. There's a break here. The street is probably downhill a little, so if I unlocked it, the dumpster would roll all the way down to the road. A dumpster, the kind that has wheels on the bottom so that you can move it. There's a break here. The street is probably downhill a little, so if I unlocked it, the dumpster would roll all the way down to the road. Yes, it could work. That ladder could be useful. The dumpster is now right under the stairs. Okay. Now's the time to earn my $30. I need a more juicy shot. I need a more juicy shot. Good. This shot will work just fine. A photo of the stepdaughter necking with the first guy that promises to make her a star. This should be enough for Harvey Weber to get his lawyers involved, and it's definitely enough for me to get out of here. I don't see how I could use them together. I open the door and jump into the car, ignoring how the seats are getting soaked with my wet clothes. It's water. It'll dry sooner or later. I put the key in the ignition and start the engine, but something isn't working. The gas gauge is on E. The tank must be empty. Following a lead on a case and forgetting to fill up the tank. It's a rookie's mistake. Or maybe the mistake of someone who's simply starting to get sick of this life. I'll have to find another way to get out of here.
Son, what else can I do for you?
Do you have a telephone?
Yeah, we had one.
You mean you don't have one anymore?
We do have the telephone, but it's just not working. I've been waiting for someone to come and fix it for weeks, but nothing so far. Yeah, the technicians come every 3 months to make sure that the control panel is working, but after a few weeks, there's no more dial tone.
So it's not the first time that it's broken?
In the last few years, I've called the technician at least 10 times, and every time he asks for more money. If this weren't a hotel, I'd get rid of it tomorrow.
Where is the control panel?
Oh, I don't have a clue. Must be somewhere outside the building, near the alley entrance.
I don't have anything else to ask you.
Well, if you need me, I'm here.
This must be the telephone control panel. Let's have a look. This is no breakdown. The cable was cut, and by the look of it, it definitely wasn't an accident. The only way to make the telephone work again is to reattach the wire. It doesn't make any sense. Yes, the candy wrapper should hold it together. Let's hope it works.
Son, what else can I do for you?
Your telephone should be working now.
Do they also teach you how to repair telephones in your private detective training?
No, just to find out when someone's trying to rip you off. I suggest you call another technician next time. And if you could call me a cab now, I'd be very grateful.
Of course, son.
A night spent under the rain makes even this grubby old cab seem welcoming. The driver is a quiet guy, unlike most drivers who, on a dollar trip, are happy to tell you the story of their life. The only thing he asked was, "Where to?" Essex Street was my only answer. Before going home, I have to return Greta's camera. I disappeared saying I'd get it back to her in a few days. It's been more than a week. The cab turns down Essex Street. Here we are. The trip costs me $2. $1.50 fare plus a 50-cent surcharge for the night rate. Night rate. I hate cab drivers. Good. Greta's place is still open. A sip of whiskey is just what I need to cap off today. A picturesque trashy. A normal postbox. Vote Weston for mayor of New York, and you'll vote for freedom. Freedom. It seems like the word doesn't mean much anymore. A simple coat rack. It's an alcohol license, one of Mayor Weston's great ideas. Every joint that wants to serve booze has to display this piece of paper. Clearly it serves no purpose, except for lining the pockets of the person issuing the licenses. And it wouldn't surprise me if that person were a close friend of the mayor. It's an old poster for some dance show. I think I can do without it. It's a windmill, or rather a miniature replica of one. I think that the original ones are slightly bigger. I don't think that it would look good in my apartment. It's a cash register. Steal money from a joint's till? That would certainly help my reputation. It's not a self-service. If I want something, I have to ask Greta. It's that half-wit Smiley.
Uh-oh. Here's the undaunted detective back from his dangerous mission. How many unfaithful husbands have you discovered tonight?
Not you, that's for sure. No woman would get within 10 feet of you.
Tough day, detective? But don't get upset. Fortune will look kindly on you sooner or later, just like it did for me today.
What the hell are you talking about?
Smiley had the chance of a lifetime. Goodbye, swindles and fake documents. We're talking about some real cash, cars, and the good life.
The recession doesn't seem to affect you, Smiley.
You do what you can. You know, guys like me are always in demand.
Since when have petty crooks been in demand?
Come on, detective. Don't let yourself be fooled by all those naysayers. I'm not as bad as they say.
Smiley, you'd sell your own mother for a couple bucks.
That might be true, detective. But don't be as naive as your old police pals. You know how the world works. I just do my job. If I can help someone in trouble with a few fake stamps and photographs, what's the harm? You aren't going to get all moral on me, telling me that my clients aren't honest people, are you? Everyone has the right to a second chance, and you should know that.
Right. Every respectable murderer should have the chance to create a new identity and commit crimes under a couple of false names.
Detective, you still think of yourself as a policeman. Too bad you were kicked out of that world. I still remember the headlines in the papers. Police scandal.
You do well to leave it off there, Smiley.
Don't get upset. We're just chatting.
Of course. Chatting. Why are you so excited tonight?
Smiley is changing his life. No more swindles and fake documents. I've been offered a great job, and I'm going to accept it.
Did you find a free reptile cage at Central Park?
Our detective is always ready with a joke.
What kind of job offer could a snake like you have received?
Oh, sorry, detective, but I can't talk about it.
What kind of dirty business are you mixed up in this time?
Sorry, detective, but we're talking about some serious stuff. And I can't talk about it with anyone, not even you. The only thing I can tell you is that at midnight, Smiley will get a telephone call from one of the most important people in the city.
Yeah, better to not know anything about your business. Goodbye, Smiley.
Bye, detective. Goodbye.
It's today's newspaper. The usual news that comes out before the New York mayoral elections. Each candidate smears the others, trying to steal as many votes as possible. At the end, it will be the least immoral one who will win, or the one who'll do the best job in hiding his skeletons in the closet. It's been raining for days. It wasn't designed to be opened. It's the same man in all the photographs standing next to all these different kinds of airplanes. No, I don't see what I should do with it. It's the same man in all the photographs standing next to all these different kinds of airplanes. It's one of those new neon signs. I hope this is only a passing phase. I wouldn't want them to cover the whole city with this stuff someday. I'm not going to pick up every object that I find around. It's the joint's menu. I think I know it by heart now. It's Greta. Hi, Greta. Pour me a whiskey.
Jack, do you remember that you've had my camera for over a week now? When are you planning to return it?
I actually finished using it tonight. I'll pull out the film roll and it's all yours.
Try not to break it when you pull the roll out. The winder has been broken for years, so you have to do it manually. I suggest you find a dark place when you do it. Otherwise, you can bid farewell to your precious photographs.
Wandering through the dark alleys of the Lower East Side isn't exactly on the schedule for tonight. It's a building's foyer. I don't know who lives there, and I'd rather not know. I'm not leaving this place until I have as much booze coursing through my veins as blood. Greta seems to be in a bad mood, and there's nothing more impossible than a woman in a bad mood. Hi, Greta.
Jack, give me my camera back.
I just need to pull the film roll out, and it's all yours.
Remember that the winder is broken, so you have to wind it manually. And I suggest you find a dark place when you do it, otherwise you can bid farewell to your precious photographs.
It's not a self-service. If I want something, I have to ask Greta. It's the joint's radio. No, I need booze, not music. A huge wall of booze. If there is a heaven, this is what I think it looks like. Soft clouds, angels flying around, and a bar with every kind of booze ever made. It's not a self-service. If I want something, I have to ask Greta. I only have $13 on me. Greta seems to be in a bad mood, and there's nothing more impossible than a woman in a bad mood. Wandering through the dark alleys of the Lower East Side isn't exactly on the schedule for tonight. I'm not leaving this place until I have as much booze coursing through my veins as blood. I'm not desperate enough to start rummaging through the trash. No, I don't see what I should do with it. No clue. At least none that makes any sense. Yes, it's dark enough for me to be able to take the film roll out without any problems. Good. I was able to take out the film roll from that damn thing. I hope that the film roll didn't get exposed to too much light. Otherwise, goodbye pictures and goodbye money. Hi, Greta.
Jack, give me my camera back.
I just need to pull the film roll out, and it's all yours.
Remember that the winder is broken, so you have to wind it manually. And I suggest you find a dark place when you do it, otherwise you can bid farewell to your precious photographs.
Here's the camera. Can I get my whiskey now?
Whiskey? And how are you going to pay for it? Your account has been overdue for months, Jack. And I have to pay your rent, too. So until you pay, you don't drink.
Am I wrong, or are you in a bad mood tonight?
Terrible, I'd say.
What happened?
Look around. The joint's empty. There's not a soul except for the one customer I'd happily do without. Smiley. Anyway, I'm busy now and I don't feel like talking.
I have to find a way of getting that sleaze Smiley away from the joint. And I have to do something to make Greta more manageable. Maybe some music might calm her down.
Hi again, Detective. What can I do for you?
Smiley, you'd better get out of here.
I don't see why I should, Detective.
It doesn't make any sense. Am I wrong, or did you say that you're supposed to get the call that will change your life at around midnight?
Yes. Why are you asking me?
Because tonight the telephone lines may be down in some areas. The storm last night seems to have caused more than the usual damages.
Not a problem. If they can't get through today, they can always get through tomorrow, don't you think?
Certainly. No one would ever give up the chance of working with you just because of a telephone glitch.
Yes. They'll definitely call tomorrow.
You know what, Smiley? They say that real opportunities only come around once.
You think they might change their mind and not call?
I don't know.
Maybe I could go to them, to be on the safe side.
Well, it'd be a shame to throw away the opportunity of your lifetime because of a stupid telephone glitch, right?
Yes, maybe you're right. I better go to them. I'm sorry I have to run. I better hit the road. I have a lot of ground to cover.
Good luck, Smiley.
Thanks, Detective. Thanks.
He might be a dirty snake, but sometimes that guy is as naive as a kid. I don't see how I could use them together. Let's see how this thing works.
My friends, I want to talk for a few minutes with the people of the of credit in bonds and commercial paper. Bank, put your money to work. Our population.
In a better mood?
I'm still a little bit nervous. I don't feel much like talking.
I have to do something to make Greta more manageable. Maybe some music might calm her down. It's the joint's radio. Maybe Greta will loosen up with a little music.
Banks already found to be sound in cities where there are the United States.
Better mood?
Sorry, Jack, but I've had enough. The customers have all disappeared. I'm barely making it to pay my rent. And that slimeball Smiley is here every night. I hate him.
About Smiley.
No, Jack. I don't want to talk about that guy now.
How's the joint going?
Not well.
It looks like you haven't had many customers lately.
Right. It's because of the Great Depression. That's what the papers call it. Banks have gone under, people are unemployed, and there are prostitutes and criminals around every corner of the city. I'd say that the American dream is over, and we're just starting to figure it out.
At least you still have your joint.
I barely make it to the end of the month, and the situation isn't getting any better. Last night, I even closed the joint early. There weren't any customers.
It could be worse. At least you don't spend your nights photographing 20-somethings running around with guys who could be their fathers.
Is that what you were doing tonight?
I'd rather not talk about it. Let's change the subject. Could I get something to drink?
Your account is overdue, Jack.
Tomorrow I'll pay you.
I've heard that story too many times, Jack. It's crap.
Maybe another time.
Until you pay, it's going to be that way.
I'm going now. I'll be back later.
Bye, Jack.
This is all the money I have. Unless it's really necessary, I have no intention of using it. A huge wall of booze. If there is a heaven, this is what I think it looks like. Soft clouds, angels flying around, and a bar with every kind of booze ever made. In a better mood?
Sorry, Jack, but I've had enough. The customers have all disappeared. I'm barely making it to pay my rent. And that slimeball Smiley is here every night. I hate him.
Could I get something to drink?
Your account is overdue, Jack.
Sweetheart, I just want one glass.
Don't call me sweetheart, sugar, or any of those names. I hate them.
I left my money in my other coat.
You don't even have another coat.
Come on, Greta. I spent the entire night out in the rain.
Next time, buy yourself an umbrella.
I hate umbrellas. Maybe another time.
Until you pay, it's going to be that way.
I'm going now. I'll be back later.
Bye, Jack.
This film roll contains the spicy adventures of Susan Weber with her older beau, Howard. I've stopped sending letters. If you give people time to answer you, they're more likely to lie. I don't know who lives there, and I'd rather not know. I'm not leaving this place until I have as much booze coursing through my veins as blood. Wandering through the dark alleys of the Lower East Side isn't exactly on the schedule for tonight. No clue, at least none that makes any sense.